I think it is so apt for the season that we are in this period of disruption, confusion, anxiety with coronavirus. I really think that this word that I'm going to share with you is going to bless you in so many ways and help you to be a blessing to somebody else. So, on my right is an apple tree. So it might not look like an apple tree at this point in time, but my nephew assures me it's an apple tree. Now, the first time I saw this tree, it was just soil. And my nephew said to me, and I was babysitting for my brother at that time, and he said to me, come and see my apple tree. So I went upstairs and he just had this pot, which I think is actually a medicine pot, and soil. And I was looking at this pot thinking, well, this does not look like an apple tree to me. And he then did something very, very different. He had a little bottle, which is like a squirty bottle, no bigger than this. And he put 3 squirts of water into it. And he said to me, he says, I have to put 3 squirts of water every single day, and this will grow into an apple tree. And that was it. He went to bed. I didn't think anything of it till about 10 days later. My brother posted in our family chat group this picture. And I thought to myself, wow, that was the actual container that I'd seen that was just soil. And look at it, it's actually truly growing. And, my brother said to me also that my nephew had handed it to him for safekeeping and for him to do the works and continue this journey into growing into an apple tree. And, at that point in time, I was thinking, wow, this is awesome. My nephew had faith that this planting that he was doing, this seed he had planted, and I do not know when he planted the seed. So that's another thing. I don't know when he planted the seed, but the seed that he planted was going to grow into an apple tree. But you're not going to notice 3 things. So there's 3 things I'm going to draw to your attention. The first thing is he had faith. He had faith that if he planted a seed, one day it will grow into an apple tree. He was not concerned about when that was going to be, how it was going to do, what it was going to look like. He was not concerned in any of those things at all. The only concern he had was, I then need to do something. i.e., I need to act. For it to grow into an apple tree, I need to act. And his action was, I need to squirt 3 squirts of water every single day into this seed that I have planted, and it will grow. That is all he knew he had to do. He didn't have to do anything else. He didn't have to worry about it. He didn't have to, put it by the sunlight or anything like that. His only 3 actions he had to do was squirt 3 times once a day before he went to bed, and it was done. And lo and behold, 10 days later, you can see the sprout. And then the third thing that he did was hand it over. He handed it over to the person that he trusted the most in the whole wide world, which was his dad. Now I'm going to relate all of this back to how we are feeling in this moment, because you might be wondering, hey, Clara, that's a great story, but how does this relate to the coronavirus? Now, I want to share with you something that I believe that if we do this, is going to make a profound difference in our world. The first thing is have faith. We've got to have faith that this situation, this disease that has come, we've got to have faith that it's going to go. We've got to have faith that it's going to go, and we've got to have faith that our land is going to be healed. And when I talk about our land, I don't just talk about our community or our area or even our country. I talk about the world. I talk about the world in itself. I talk about the world, that the world is going to be healed. So, and if we have faith in that, then the next thing that we need to do is an action. And the only way that we can actually activate our faith, I believe, is through prayer. So if we pray upon that faith, it will surely come to pass. And I'm not saying that we've got to pray like big, massive prayers and pray from morning to night and, and do nothing. I'm not saying that, but what I would want to task the world to do right now is pray 3 times. Remember, my nephew put 3 pumps of water into his bottle, just 3 pumps. So, what I want to say is pray 3 times a day. And also, what he did was very simple. It wasn't anything complicated. He didn't go and pour gallons of water. He didn't do a ceremony or anything like that while he was doing it. It was just 3 simple pumps. So, what I'm going to suggest that we do is 3 simple prayers a day and the same prayer. Because when he pumped it, it was the same bottle that he used, and he did it exactly the same way. So we don't need to be praying one prayer in the morning, another prayer in the afternoon, another prayer in the evening. So what I would suggest is 3 times a day we say a prayer. And if you're struggling for what to say, very simply, dear God, heal our world. Dear God, heal our world. Once we've done that, the next thing that my nephew did, which was so profound, is he handed over his pot with his sprout to his father. And that's all we need to do. Once we've believed, we've got faith, we've had our prayer, we've said, heal our world, dear God, then we just hand it over to God. Because he is our Father, and he is the person in this whole wide world, beyond this whole wide world, that we trust the most, or we should trust the most. So those 3 things is what I'm going to urge you to do. And not only that, I'm going to urge you that if you really believe that what I'm saying is making sense, and what I'm saying is really going to help us as a world come together through prayer, through faith, and through submission to God. If you believe that, then just share this so that somebody else can hear it. And let me tell you now, this is not a time to panic. This is not a time to be anxious for anything. This is a time to be calm. Go about your daily work, doing what you need to do. Protect yourself in all ways. Follow the hygiene rules that everybody has been saying, that all the governments have been talking about. Do the social distancing that people have been talking about. But, pray this prayer. Dear God, heal our world. Believe that it will be so and hand it over to God and see what he's going to do to this world. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.